Hey, what's going on everybody? We've got a ton of information to cover here in this video. We've had a lot happen in the last couple of weeks since I made my last video. We're gonna talk about things that are happening at the national level as well as here at the local level. We're gonna talk about interest rates, the stock market, the real estate market, and what's going on with the overall economy. We've got a new presidential candidate on the Democratic side. The stock market had a huge fall yesterday and it's actually rebounded as of now at the time of this filming. I'm filming this on Tuesday, August 6th. It's now rebounded from what we saw on Monday. So things are really just kind of all over the place. Interest rates for mortgages have also dropped substantially. Basically what happened is there was indication that the jobs data came out last week and was pretty weak with showing how strong the economy is, and there were fears of a recession starting to pop up, and this actually caused a lot of people to believe that, hey, the Fed is probably going to cut rates at their next meeting. There's a chance they might even do an emergency rate cut. I personally don't think that's going to happen, but there is a chance that people are talking about it, and this has actually caused a lot of downward pressure not only in the stock market but on interest rates for mortgages as well. Now there's some different things, right? You might think, hey, those should maybe go together or whatever. Now this has actually caused a lot of downward pressure on the stock market but also on interest rates for mortgages. We're going to jump in my screen here and take a look at this, but before we do that, please make sure to reach out to me. As always, guys, my name is Cody Steck. I want to be your favorite Utah realtor and your trusted real estate resource of choice. Please call me, text me, or email me anytime. If I can help you in any way to buy, sell, or invest in real estate here in Utah, please reach out, call, text, or email me anytime. My information will be here on the screen. Jumping into my computer screen, let's take a look at the 30-year fixed rate mortgage over the last couple of weeks. So I've shown this before. I show this every time I do one of these updates. Back here in April, we were at 7.5%, and you can see it's kind of been a slow, steady decline to roughly around 7% as of July 25th, which is roughly 2 weeks ago. Well, the news that we got actually saw a huge decrease in rates down to 6.34%. So this is again just across the board for your standard 30-year fixed rate mortgage. This is what you're seeing on a national scale. Here in Utah, we're fortunate that we're actually a little bit lower than this. We're usually about 0.5% to maybe 0.75% lower than what you're seeing here. So if you're seeing 6.91% here, that actually means that we're closer to like low 6%. Now that this has dropped, 6.34 as of today, it was actually up again substantially. I think probably because of what happened with the stock market yesterday, but we're sitting at about 6.5% across the board on a national scale, which means here in Utah, we're actually going to be in the high 5% range, maybe right around 6%. So this is actually substantial news, and this is actually going to drive a lot of buyers back into the market. There's been a lot of people who've been sitting on the sidelines for the last 2 years or so and have not made a move, but now interest rates are actually sitting at a relative low point compared to what they've been in the last couple of years. So there's going to be a lot of buyers who decide now might be the time to jump into the market and pull the trigger on something. Maybe rates continue to drop. That's great. A lot of lenders are still offering no cost refinances, so you can still take advantage of that. You can still take advantage of the rate buy downs that are being offered and all of the changes that have come to the prices over the last couple of months as well. We're going to take a look at that here in just a minute. Looking at interest rates though, the last time we were this low was actually back here in May of 2023. So it's been about a year and a couple months since we were here at this 6.5% range. And I think there's actually even a chance that we could dip down close to 6%, maybe even upper 5% range on this graph here. Let's take a look at the FHA and VA loan options. FHA and VA, let's zoom in a little bit here. You can see this also dropped substantially. We were sitting at roughly 6.5. We dropped all the way down to 5.75, but then jumped it back up substantially to 6.12. I do think that this will actually kind of come back down. I don't think that we'll continue this upward trend that we saw just in the last day, but I do think that over the next little bit, we'll probably hover around this high 5%, low 6% range for at least the next couple of weeks. Again, same thing here, VA is almost identical. Let's take a look at Jumbo really quick because this also shows a substantial decrease. Pretty much everything across the board was just cut substantially. Jumbo actually did not see as big of a jump back up today, which is great news if you're shopping in that upper price range for a loan, right? You were previously at about 7%. I talked to a lender who was doing a jumbo loan. He said, hey, we're actually about 6.3% on the interest rate, and I would imagine that's actually even dropped below 6% at this point based on what I'm seeing here with this information. So we've covered a lot with that information. Let's actually take a look at what's happening in the housing market. It's August 6th at the time of this filming, which means we now have July real estate data, and I'm excited to jump in and show you what this is all about. So let's take a look at this. I've already got it pulled up here. Month of July 2024, we had 3,262 home sales. This is across the whole entire market, right? This is all home types, condos, single family homes, twin homes, townhomes, everything except for multi-family properties is going to be included in this. It's also going to include all price ranges and all locations, anything that was listed on the market. So we're looking at a very broad data set here. We'll narrow it down here in just a minute because I know a lot of people appreciate that. But I want to start broad to show you what's actually happened over the last couple months. Sales are down over the last couple months, which is not too uncommon, right? Generally, we have a big spring rush and then it decreases throughout the summer months just slightly. So we went from 3308 on home sales to 3262. So a slight month over month decline, nothing to be concerned about or worried about. Prices actually stayed mostly flat. The median list price actually went up by about $5,000, but the median sales price actually stayed at about $510,000. Again, looking across the board, this is pretty typical for the last couple months. July is usually a softer month, which is also why we saw a higher median days on market here of 30 days. July is typically the time where you've got 4th of July. Here in Utah, we also have a state holiday, which is the 24th of July. So people are traveling, people are out of town, and there's a lack of interest in the, well, I should say a smaller interest in the housing market during this time, right? More people are traveling, they're just busy, and you know, buying a house or making a move is not on everybody's list for that time. Looking back here at last year, right, June 2023, 3486 on home sales. July was 3,100, and then August jumped back up to 3,500. So again, that's evidence that July is typically a slower month. It's also a slower month typically on prices as well. So we saw a slight price decrease during this time last year from $499 to $490, and then back up to $494 in August. And we also see this this median sales price to list price ratio. I know that's kind of confusing, but we've got this, which basically says that on average, your typical home is going to sell for roughly 3% less than what it was originally listed for, which again is lower than this number right here. So 98%, 97, you can see this has dropped just slightly. Right now, for just the first week of August, we're actually sitting a little bit lower on this number. List price has stayed roughly the same. Sales price is actually down just slightly. I do expect this to actually climb. I do expect to see more buyers jump into the market over the next couple of weeks. Those buyers may or may not close here in the month of August. They're probably likely going to close closer to September. So I think August and September will actually finish out very, very strong. And I do expect this number to climb back up to about 98% by next month. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Wait for that next video. All right, now that we've looked across the entire state for all home sales, I actually want to narrow this down. We're going to take a look at the Wasatch Front, what home sales are happening for single family homes across all price ranges. So taking a look at this, we've got July 2024, we had 1,486 home sales, which is just one less than what we saw in June. The median list price actually increased here just slightly from $620 to $629, and our median sales price also increased. So there's more desire for properties that are a little bit closer to town. I've noticed this, that if you live way further out, you are, if you're gonna be 30, 45 minutes, maybe 60 minutes away from kind of the main city center where most of the suburban action is, you're going to see bigger price drops in that area, and you're gonna see less strength in that overall housing market. I've noticed a shift that people are now generally making a decision to pay a premium to live a little bit closer to town. If they're going to be making a large mortgage payment with interest rates where they're at now today, then generally those people are going to be looking to live a little bit closer to town and in these more desirable areas. So that's why we're actually seeing, if you're further out, you're gonna see price decreases or just less strength in the market. But if you're closer in, you're gonna see more price increases, you're gonna see stronger growth, you're gonna see a lot of buyers interested in the market at this price point. So taking a look at this, 612 to 619, pretty decent jump over the last couple of months. You can see this has climbed substantially. Back here in January, we were at 550,000. On average, your home, an average typical home was selling for about 4% less than the list price, but that list price has climbed from 575,000 to 629,000. So over a $50,000 price increase for single family homes here along the Wasatch Front, which includes Davis County, Salt Lake County, and Utah County. So 629 average sales or median sales price of 619. Days on market was just 25, so just slightly higher there. Now I want to look at this data set just a little bit further to get a better understanding and show you guys what's happening with the market in these different price points. First, we're going to look at homes that are listed at least $1 million, all the way up to, as high as it'll go. And then we're going to take a look at homes that are listed under $1 million. So taking a look at this, July 2024, home sales in this price point are down just slightly from what we saw in June. However, the listing price is also down, but the sales price has remained the same, which means that there's more demand, there's more strength in this particular market, which is interesting to see. see. We had back here in April, a median sales price to list price ratio of 98%, right? Again, that's a 2% discount. May and June, we actually saw a 6% discount on a median basis, but back here in July, we're back to 98%. I think this is probably largely due to the strength that the stock market had over the last couple of months. As the stock market goes up and people are feeling good about their retirement accounts, there's generally a higher willingness for people to spend to go purchase $1 million home, $2 million home, $3 million home. And a lot of these people are actually paying cash. They're gonna pull money out of the stock market to go pay cash for this property. And that's why we see this stronger growth in this price point. Now, really quick, guys, we're gonna rule out any homes that are listed above $1 million in our next data set. But as we do that, guys, please reach out to me, call, text, or email me anytime. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I've had over 1,000 people now reach out from videos just like this who are making a move here to Utah, or they already live here in the area and they've got a home to sell, or they wanna invest in real estate, whatever it may be. I wanna be your trusted real estate resource of choice here in Utah. My team and I service the entire state, and we love hearing from you. So please reach out, call, text, or email me anytime. And with that said, let's take a look at this data set. If we rule out all of the homes that are listed above $1 million, you can see that here in July 2024, we had 1,319 home sales, which is actually up just slightly from June. And our sales price is up as well. List price and sales prices are both up month over month. And you can see, again, there's a pretty big increase from what we saw just 6 months ago back in winter, right? We were at 550 right here with a median sales price of 537, and now we're sitting at 590 for a median sales price. That means that prices have gone up almost actually over $50,000 in just the last 6 months for single family homes here. The median sales price to list price ratio is still sitting at 98%, right? So roughly a 2% discount, which actually shows that that number has decreased, and maybe you would assume that there's a little bit less demand in the market, but I'm actually seeing more demand across the board. I've been noticing that there's more houses that are sitting on the market and being negotiated down further, which is probably driving this number to be a little bit lower than what is actually realistic for your nice houses that are out there. Again, I do expect this number to increase. Right now it's showing 97%. If rates stay where they're at or they continue to drop just slightly, this number will easily climb up to 98, 99% by the end of the month. And I think that September will be very similar. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please reach out to me if I can help you in any way, and we'll catch you in the next one.